Hey, it's Eli, aka Atlas. Today I'm going to be doing a talk-through of a recent Copic marker sketch that I decked out and took to completion. And the subject for today's video is everyone's favorite Martian princess. So what I'm going to be doing through this video is basically going through my thought process on why I made certain choices and why I rendered some things the way I did. So basically at this stage I've penciled out my character, placed everything where it should be, and am just putting in the inks. When I ink under my markers, when I know I'm going to be using them, I ink a little bit differently and a little more open so that I won't unnecessarily darken the page and subsequently darken my markers. And also so I won't take up too much time stressing over details that will get lost. Compositionally, if you're familiar with this character and the whole John Carter of Mars series, when you see art and fan art of her, a lot of the time the artist will go an Art Nouveau direction. I decided to keep up the tradition, of course, and took some inspiration from my favorites: Adam Hughes, Mark Brooks, so on and so forth. One thing to remember when you're doing female characters, which I had to learn over time, is to keep your lines to a minimum so you can maximize the aesthetics. The more lines on your character's bodies, the more chiseled they look, which is shorthand for masculine. All the sculpting and shaping I'll be doing will be during the coloring phase. Gotta erase the pencils as the last prep step before coloring, because if you marker over them, they'll be a lot harder to erase later. Then we go in with a very gradual shading and shaping of her face. I'm using warm grays for the skin and start from the C0 to the C4, but use the C5 at max for the shadowy parts. Did her lips with another dark shade, probably the C5 or C6. I pretty much do the same thing for the body, going from lightest to darkest warm gray. Of course, I leave the shades around C6 and lower so that I can use those for her seat, which is, I consider, a background element. This part is basically where your knowledge of anatomy and color theory and lighting come into play. And now I move on to the cool grays. Even though I know the hair is supposed to be kind of black anyway, I still do a slight gradation just in case I change my mind and come up with a different idea. If I decide to switch it up, I'll already have the stages in the correct order. So in this case, I colored her bracelet silver instead of gold, so your eyes would go from her arm, which is leaning against her face. And this is an important bit because whatever elements on her I color the opposite shade of her skin are where the viewer's eyes will go. Doing the jewelry was a bit tricky since I'm still learning my way around the Copic markers. Fortunately, I color shiny things all the time digitally, so I used the same theory from that and applied it here. Now all I had to do was mix and match the silver jewelry with the gold. I wasn't originally going to use the white gel pen for adding highlights since I wanted to keep it organic and do all the lighting with the markers, but after I saw some of my favorite artists put white on their marker sketches, I figured it wouldn't hurt. Just to accent the golden chains, I put silver medallions and gems on them. I've seen belly dancer costumes with these corn belts and leg garters and things like that, so I thought combining both would be a cool touch. I'm absolutely terrible at doing backgrounds for sketches in general, and this was no exception. Fortunately, I came up with the idea of doing an Art Nouveau frame from the beginning. When I was deciding how to approach it, I had considered doing a warm background to complement everything in the foreground, but decided on a cool gray background for contrast as usual. One reason I approached this background at the end, besides it taking pretty long to do, was because I had to figure out if I was coloring inside the frame or between the frame. I'm a big fan of negative space if anyone's familiar with my very earlier works, so I went between the frame. The end result was very underwaterish and very vibey, which I liked. That about wraps it up. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and if you liked this talk through, I can do more videos like this in the future, so definitely share your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you follow me on all the social media that will be up on the screen. DeviantArt, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure you share the video. Definitely share it. That supports my channel, keeps me going, builds my audience, and I'd appreciate it if you guys could be a part of that family and we can just keep doing art, keep talking art, keep building. Definitely leave your comments and your suggestions for other videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching.